I'm back. Rodrance for the Black and White Network. Well, you know what we don't do? We don't take our political messaging. We certainly don't take our willingness to vote for a particular party and or person. Smart patriots do not take their cues from woke Hollywood. Liberals, radical liberals in most cases, that have lost their mind. And look, we've lost a lot of great actors to that, right? Just because somebody can make a great movie does not make them politically savvy by any stretch of the imagination. Robert De Niro comes to mind. Yesterday I did a video about so many in Hollywood funding the escapades of the governor candidate in Georgia, Stacey Abrams. And now, and this is the one that everybody's got the blind spot for, and that's Trump, right? President Donald Trump. Well, enter actor John Cusack. Now, I'll be the first to admit, from a movie standpoint, I love a lot of John Cusack movies. I do. Say Anything is a classic. Absolute classic. One Crazy Summer, 8 Men Out, Grosse Point Blank, Pushing 10, a very underrated little horror movie called Identity that stars him and the late, great Ray Liotta. But when it comes to politics, I'm going to need a pass when it comes to John Cusack. I'm going to pass on listening to what he's got to say about President Trump and getting an influence there. We just don't get that influence. But nonetheless, it doesn't want us to stop covering what these lunatics have to say. Okay? Because people need to know that these Hollywood elites, they live in their own world, they live in their own bubble, and they're protected. A lot of them have a lot of sick behavior behind the scenes. And I think anytime we can make videos like this, it sheds and shines another light on another actor that maybe you went, oh, God, I didn't know John Cusack was a total and complete moron. Well, here we are. Actor John Cusack, Breitbart, demands A.J. Merrick Garland must resign. Actor John Cusack took to Twitter on Monday to call on U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland, who I've got absolutely no faith in whatsoever, to resign, claiming Garland is, quote, sleepwalking us into fascism. My God. They don't know what the words democracy and fascism actually means, judging by the political party that they like to support. Because he hasn't brought criminal charges against former President Donald Trump. Because you know that January 6th hearing is going on. At least you probably know it. Odds are you haven't watched it. I haven't watched it. Quote, and let's just see. There's his tweet right there. A.G. Garland must resign. That's right. He must resign. The Hot Tub Time Machine, another funny-ass film, star was responding to leftist and former NBA player Rex Chapman. Ooh, he's turned out to be a gem. Who tweeted, quote, former president of the United States knew there was armed protesters at his rally on January 6th, and he wanted to go with them to the Capitol in order to stop the certification of the election he lost. And he's still walking around playing golf, chilling, Chapman added, for 2 years now. My God, help us. In another tweet, Cusack responded to a Twitter user who wrote, quote, the question is not whether Trump is above the law, it's will he and his conspirators succeed in destroying the rule of law. Quote, this is what Cusack responded with. Quote, the answer lies with Merrick Garland. The AG must uphold his oath. Garland sleepwalking us into fascism. The crimes are ongoing. God damn. While left-wing activists and celebrities hype up the January 6th hearings, a recent Politico poll shows that no one appears to actually be listening to the committee. In October 2021, 67% of Republicans said Donald Trump, quote, should run for president again in 2024. Today, 66% say the same. So in essence, the January 6th committee is a complete flop. It absolutely is a flop. Of the list of things that are on our priority list, January 6th is nowhere to be seen. And, you know, for me, seeing the hypocrisy of how this event, how that all played out versus how people have viewed the BLM and Antifa riots, it's absolutely comical. It's absolutely insane. 18 months of pieces and parts of the country being destructed and destroyed. And there was one day, and look, I blame the BLM rioting and Antifa on what happened January 6th. Not so much that they were necessarily in the crowd, but the fact that everybody sat back, law-abiding citizens sat back and watched all that happening, and not a single law enforcement agency in any of these places really did much of anything, and it wasn't their fault. Their Democratic leadership in those cities didn't want them to do anything. Democratic leadership sat back and let cities burn to the ground. Let people like David Dorn die in St. Louis. And their Democratic radical leadership did nothing. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler, Kim Gardner in St. Louis, and so many of these different places where these radicals got arrested, brought in, and then let right back out on the streets. Burnt down the city, nobody cares. And I think that absolutely played a role in January 6th. It's so funny how people like John Cusack in Hollywood don't want to recognize that. They don't want to recognize that the fact that, you know, people want to say, well, that was done because of racial injustice. Well, number one, the statistics play out that there is no such thing as racial injustice or police brutality against blacks or whites. To be honest with you, the statistics say that's false. It's made up. It's a false narrative that the mainstream media and people on the left flooded the airways with. But these Hollywood elites, they don't want to recognize that a byproduct of all of that, the culmination of that, in my opinion, the fallout from that was January 6th. Oh, wait a minute. You bitches are all up in arms now? After what we just witnessed? And where are the hearings? Where are the prosecutions going on against all that Democratic leadership that let all of that happen, and in some cases are still letting it happen? Where is that outcry? That outcry doesn't exist. And shame on all these Hollywood elites that are backing these people that promoted all this destruction and damage. John Cusack, I'm sure, is one of those people. He certainly seems like it. Rex Chapman, him too. It's crazy. It's one reason why I won't watch any part of that. Number one, they're going after Trump for no damn good reason. The other part is just the pure hypocrisy between the events that went on a day in and day out basis, and nothing happened to all these people. And I'm sorry, but it was criminals that were looking for a reason and an out to be able to go cause destruction. Those people don't give a shit. They did more damage in black communities across the country than we've seen in 50 years from any kind of actual civil rights injustice and protesting. I mean, plain and simple. It's a simple fact. And I'm going to tell you, that's one reason why you will not get lucid, common sense Americans to engage in that January 6th crap. The hypocrisy of the law and order aspect between the two. No, we don't want to hear it, and we don't give a shit. Plain and simple. Yeah, I know I got a little rough here at the end of the video, but there is some venom in the fact that they don't recognize the correlation between the two. And that John Cusack don't recognize the correlation between the two. One's fallout from the other. Don't get confused. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. Link in the description. Use promo code USA First, all one word. USA First, all one word. 25% off now.